Hey guys, so my name's Archie, and this is the podcast number one, and I am the owner, along with my wife, of CrossFit Chichester, and I thought it'd be worthwhile talking about some themes with that we've seen in coaching that could help you guys get to where you want to go, and a lot of it can be to do with mindset, but the main thing is just helping you keep inspired so that you keep going towards your goals and you don't give up. And that's really where I was going to start, because persistence, I've found that in any endeavor truly means something, requires an enormous amount of persistence. And from doing things like back when I was 16 in music composition for my GCSEs, I had to really consistently work at improving it, and then I did very well at it. And the same thing goes things writing dissertation articles at university. Consistent effort was what got me there. The same goes with fitness, is it was the small consistent effort that didn't really look like much that was actually what trumped everything. And after 10 years in the gym business, I've seen clients that do really well, and I've seen clients that don't do very well. And persistence is one of those traits that, or it's a skill really, that is developed over time. And when you have the correct environment that allows for that, I've seen amazing things happen. And some people will come to me consistently feeling like they're not making any progress and feeling like they're going backwards. But when you look at their numbers and you look at what they're doing and their progress, then you can see that actually there's a significant amount of progress over a 5-year period. It's just that you just don't always see it. And that's why a lot of us give up, is because the progress that we're looking for, we don't really recognize. The progress that we've actually made, we don't recognize it. And even now, after teaching classes, that there are still things that I need to learn, or have learnt, or I'm still learning. And for example, keeping things simple, making it very easy to understand. And that's just one of those things that has come up recently more and more, and it iterates it. And essentially, the benefit of being persistent is that you get the same lesson, and I've seen it with any kind of training program we've done. The ones who stick at it are the ones who get the results, and not trying to be amazing every single day, just trying to show up and just make it work, and it just keeps going on and on. And the other thing that I've noticed is parenting, and that is really the embodiment of being persistent, because a lot of the time I don't feel like I'm doing a great job, but when I look at how far my kids have come, then we must be doing something right. And I find that is, and whether my wife will agree or not, but I think patience is one of those traits that gets developed from being persistent in anything that you're trying to do. And when I look at my kids and I see how far they've come, and yet the changes that they feel they're making are imperceptible, they're not even aware of it. It takes taking a step back from the thing that you're working on to realise like how much of a progression it is, progress that you've made. And I think it's very, very easy to just sit there and be down on yourself when you maybe aren't making the progress that you're not making in the gym, or whether you're not losing the weight that you want to be losing. And I've consistently had people asking me if they feel they're making progress, and is it losing half a kilo a week too slow, or am I only losing 1% of body fat a month, and the truth is that any kind of progression is still movement forwards. And even though you might get frustrated with it, I would suggest that you use that to your advantage, and that when you are feeling a little frustrated, then use that as the fuel that's going to help you focus on more on what you need to be doing to get you where you want to go faster. And that can be for any endeavour, but let's talk about gyms and talk about how to be more specific. If you're not making the progress that you want to be making, then the question then becomes like, well, okay, I'm getting frustrated and I'm being really persistent. Like, what can I do next? And then the next question to ask is, how can I focus on the things that are going to shift the needle faster? What things do I need to be doing that are going to help me get further towards my goal? What things am I ignoring? What things am I consistently not doing? Am I making excuses and not doing my meal prep on the weekends? Am I missing the odd workouts? And am I just going through the motions in my warm-up? Am I ignoring my mobility work? Am I really concentrating on my technique? Those are the simplest things to really dial in. And that's where usually having a coach can really help enormously, because they're already distant from the problem, from your problem, but they can see what the solution is. Whereas sometimes, because we're so close to it, because we're in it, we're never really going to see how to actually fix our problems, when really the answers are obvious. And they're usually in the things that we say to ourselves, like, I really should do this. I really should do X, Y, Z. And it doesn't have to be complicated. And often the solutions that there to help you progress are pretty simple. Making sure that you calendarize your workouts, making sure that you're looking ahead, organizing a time to go and train with a workout buddy. Simple things like that. It's really, really straightforward. And that's where being persistent just makes an enormous amount of difference. And if you keep going, you will get to where you want to be. But just realizing that being frustrated and feeling like you're going backwards is part of the process. And that is what getting anywhere worthwhile feels like. It's not pretty. It's really, really hard. And it's really frustrating. And it's more emotional than we might realise. I have to tell myself that all the time. And I think that's what drives me to get to where I want to be. Because without getting up every morning and going, right, I'm going to do this, and doing a little bit that's going to get me closer, even if it's not everything I need to be doing. Now I know that I've done something, and that's the crux of it. So it's just going like, what do you know you should be doing, and then go and do it, or write a list of all the things that you should be doing, and then go and do it. And if you're persistent enough with those things, then getting to where you want to go, it's guaranteed. It's just a question of just when. It's not if. So, hope you find that useful, guys. If you do think this is helpful, then you can always share it. And I'm really interested to. You can either I don't know if you can post comments on podcasts. I don't even know at this stage. But either way, you can always message us. You can find us on crossfitchitster.com. You can find us on Instagram or wherever it is on the socials. But thanks for listening if you've made it this far. And podcast number 1 done.